At 6 feet nothing and 194 pounds, Jari Kurri wasn't just a European player breaking into the NHL. He was a pioneer who shattered long-standing doubts about European talent. With 5 Stanley Cups, 601 goals, and 1,398 career points, he became one of the most dominant wingers in hockey history. The Finnish sniper wasn't just an accessory to Wayne Gretzky's brilliance. He was a superstar in his own right, capable of 71-goal seasons, elite defensive play, and penalty-killing mastery. In an era defined by physicality, Kurri didn't just survive, he thrived, proving that European players weren't just skilled, but could battle in the toughest corners of the ice. Jari Kurri's journey from Finland's icy rinks to NHL greatness reshaped hockey's perception of European players. Before his arrival, many North American teams questioned whether Europeans could handle the NHL's punishing 80-game schedule and grueling Stanley Cup playoffs. But Kurri dispelled those doubts through sheer excellence. After honing his skills with Jokerit in Finland, he transitioned to the NHL seamlessly, proving that European players could not only adapt, but dominate. His golden years with the Edmonton Oilers were nothing short of spectacular. More than just a goal-scoring machine, Kurri was a complete two-way forward, blending Finnish finesse with North American grit. While playing alongside Gretzky, his hockey IQ, defensive awareness, and ability to create plays under pressure made him an invaluable piece of the Oilers' dynasty. Even after Gretzky's departure, Kurri continued to be a force, showing that his brilliance wasn't dependent on one player, but was the result of his own elite skill set. The road to the NHL was more than just difficult for European players, it was nearly impossible. Before Jari Kurri, only a handful had made it, and most struggled to earn ice time or eventually returned home. Many NHL teams believed that European hockey was too different, bigger ice, less physicality, and a slower pace, and doubted that European players could endure the league's punishing 80-game schedule and grueling Stanley Cup playoffs. When Kurri arrived in 1980, European representation in the NHL was still minimal, and skepticism surrounded any player coming from overseas. Before moving to North America, Kurri honed his skills with Jokerit in the Finnish SM Liiga, where he posted an impressive 39 points as a 17-year-old. Despite his raw talent, the Edmonton Oilers took a chance on him in the 4th round of the 1980 NHL draft, 69th overall, a pick that would turn into one of the greatest steals in draft history. But the expectations were low. Kurri wasn't just adapting to the NHL, he was adapting to a new country, a new language, and a whole new way of life. Training camp was a brutal wake-up call. Opponents targeted him with relentless hits, testing whether he could handle the NHL's physicality. The smaller rinks, faster pace, and relentless checking left no room for hesitation. Some players even taunted him, yelling, "Go back to Finland." Others simply doubted whether a European could survive. Even within his own locker room, there was uncertainty. Some teammates had never played alongside a European and weren't sure what to expect. Off the ice, life wasn't any easier. Everything from food to practice schedules was different. Finnish teams rarely held early morning skates, but in the NHL, 6 a.m. practices were routine. And while Kurri was used to a 36-game season in Finland, the NHL's grueling 80-game schedule, plus playoffs, was an entirely different challenge. But if there was one thing that made Kurri different, it was his toughness. While many Europeans tried to avoid contact, Kurri battled along the boards, absorbed hits, and fought for every loose puck. He was quiet off the ice, but on it, he played with a determination that shattered the myth that Europeans weren't tough enough for the NHL. Instead of breaking under the pressure, he thrived, laying the foundation for one of the most legendary careers in hockey history. Everything changed when Oilers coach Glenn Sather paired Jari Kurri with Wayne Gretzky. At first, many thought Kurri was simply lucky to play alongside the greatest player in the game, but Gretzky himself saw something special in the quiet Finnish forward. "Jari thinks the game like I do," Gretzky said. "He's always where I expect him to be." Their chemistry was undeniable, and Kurri quickly became an integral part of the Oilers' unstoppable offensive machine. In the 1984-85 season, Kurri proved he was far more than just Gretzky's wingman. He exploded for 71 goals and 64 assists, becoming the first European player to score 70 goals in an NHL season. But it wasn't just about offense. Kurri was a complete player. Unlike many high-scoring forwards, he back-checked relentlessly, killed penalties, and took pride in his defensive responsibilities. He could score a hat trick one night and then block crucial shots on the penalty kill the next. His deadly shooting accuracy set him apart. In one game against the Winnipeg Jets, Kurri scored 4 goals on just 4 shots, a testament to his Rudy efficiency. NHL goalies, including Kelly Rudy, have praised Kurri's ability to place the puck exactly where he wanted it, often needing only one chance to bury a goal. Kurri also thrived under playoff pressure. During the 1985 playoffs, he scored 19 goals, tying the NHL record for most goals in a single postseason at the time. In a fierce Battle of Alberta series against Calgary, he delivered in the clutch, scoring multiple game-winning goals. His teammates started calling him Money because whenever the Oilers needed a big goal, Kurri was there to deliver. Perhaps his greatest achievement was earning respect in one of the NHL's toughest eras. The 1980s were filled with heavy-hitting enforcers, and many still believed Europeans weren't tough enough to survive. But Kurri never backed down. In one game, after taking a hard hit from Boston's Ray Bourque, he got right back up and scored on the very next shift, a moment that silenced any remaining doubts about his toughness. As Mark Messier put it, Jari proved you didn't have to fight to be tough. He took hits, gave hits, and just kept scoring. By 1986, the same players who had once taunted him with "go back to Finland" were now asking for shooting tips. Kurri wasn't just surviving in the NHL, he was redefining the game. Teams that once avoided drafting European players were now sending scouts to Finland, all hoping to find the next Kurri. When Jari Kurri retired in 1998, his numbers were nothing short of legendary. 601 goals, 797 assists, and 1,398 points. At the time, he was the highest-scoring European player in NHL history. But his legacy wasn't just in the stats. It was in how he transformed the game. Before Kurri, European players were rare in the NHL, and many teams were hesitant to draft them. By the time he hung up his skates, every NHL team was scouting European talent, eager to find the next superstar. His influence reached far beyond North America. In Finland, he became a national hero. Future NHL legends like Timo Selanne grew up idolizing him. Jari showed us Finnish players that we could not just play in the NHL, but be superstars, Selanne once said. Players like Saku Koivu, Mikko Koivu, and Patrick Laine all followed in his footsteps, proving that Finnish hockey belonged at the highest level. In 2001, the Edmonton Oilers honored Kurri by retiring his iconic number, 17, raising it to the rafters alongside Wayne Gretzky's 99. That same year, he became the first Finnish player inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame, a testament to his impact on the sport. During his speech, he reflected on his early struggles, arriving in Edmonton without speaking English. Now, he said, European players arrive to NHL teams that have Finnish coaches, Finnish trainers, and Finnish teammates. The league had changed, and Kurri was one of the key reasons why. Beyond his scoring ability, Kurri left a lasting mark on how hockey was played. He proved that a forward could be elite offensively while still excelling defensively, a quality that is now highly valued in modern hockey. Many of today's two-way forwards owe their playing style to Kurri, who showed that defensive responsibility and championship success go hand in hand. In 2017, as part of the NHL's 100th anniversary celebrations, Kurri was named one of the 100 greatest NHL players of all time. At the ceremony, Wayne Gretzky summed up his influence perfectly. People used to say, "I made Jari better." But the truth is, he made me better. He changed how the world saw European players forever. Today, European players dominate the NHL, with teams sending scouts across Finland, Sweden, and beyond. Once teams hesitated to draft Europeans, now they compete to sign them. And it all started with a quiet kid from Helsinki, who proved that hockey greatness has no borders. It only needs a chance. Jari Kurri's influence on today's NHL is undeniable. When Finland clinched its first Olympic men's hockey gold in 2022, many players on that team had grown up inspired by pioneers like Kurri, who paved the way for Finnish athletes on the international stage. In the 2023-24 NHL season, 48 Finnish players are active in the league, with stars like Sebastian Aho and Alexander Barkov leading their respective teams. This marks a significant increase from Kurri's playing days, when Finnish representation was minimal. NHL teams now invest heavily in scouting European talent, recognizing the depth and skill available overseas. The presence of European players has become so integrated that young fans today might be unaware of a time when Europeans faced barriers in the NHL. This seamless inclusion is a testament to the path Kurri helped forge back in the 1980s. Yes, today's NHL looks nothing like it did in 1980. European players are now superstars, team leaders, and first-round draft picks. But it all started with one quiet Finnish player who proved that hockey talent knows no borders. That's why Jari Kurri isn't just a legend, he's a pioneer. His impact on the game will be felt for generations to come. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit subscribe and give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments which NHL player's story you'd like to hear next.